Some messages don't arrive early. They come when your spirit is ready, not a second before. And for the chosen ones, this message was always meant to find you on, or just before July 23rd. You didn't click here, Sluchino. Something aligned, within you and in the world around you. In this video, crucial messages you need to hear. How to recognize a divinely timed message when it arrives. Signs that you're being guided into your next phase. This is your sign. Not to wait, but to listen. And what you do after this message could change everything. 18. Chakra spirituality, Chak astrology, Chak astronomy, Chak universe. The sign that brought you here. This video is not a coincidence, it's an echo of your frequency. You feel it, even if subtly, that something within you has been stirring. It's as if a quiet but persistent restlessness pulses in the depths of your chest, yearning for an answer. You didn't end up here by mistake. There's an ancient call, perhaps whispered for years in the silence of your soul, that today found its echo in this very moment. The universe, with its enigmatic precision, has guided you to this exact instant. Nothing was random. There's an invisible synchronicity weaving encounters, and when you feel a message seems to see right through you, it's because it was coded to reach exactly those who traverse the invisible. You've been living in a time where you feel deeply but understand little. You sense that the external world feels increasingly misaligned with something precious pulsing within you. This misalignment isn't a flaw. It's a symptom of a new frequency, a vibrational field pushing you beyond the surface. Perhaps you question the meaning of this search, or doubt the importance of what you feel. But the truth is, the call has always been there, waiting for you to stop trying to explain and simply feel. If chance doesn't exist, then your presence here is the answer to a silent plea your soul made, and the universe heard. By allowing yourself to hear these words, you've already begun the return, not to who you were, but to what you've always been, and perhaps forgot amidst the noise of the world. Before we continue, if this message is finding you at the right moment, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share in the comments what you're feeling. Your energy here also transforms this space. Recognize, every sensation you carry is, in truth, an activation code. You're here because the invisible called you. There's no coincidence for awakened souls. You've entered the field, crossed a subtle portal, and now, there's no way back. There's only the path inward. This video, this moment, is the mirror of your frequency. Feel it. You were called. For a long time you may have felt stuck, trapped in a time without answers, an interval where nothing seemed to move, neither within nor without. But what seemed like stagnation was, in truth, a subtle process of recalibration. Your soul, weary of external noise and expectations that were never yours, was drawn into a sacred silence, a space of deep reprogramming, where old patterns needed to dissolve for the new to emerge. While the world's haste tried to convince you that success lies in speed, the universe invited you to retreat, to the slow and necessary rest of your essence. The emptiness, the apathy, that unexplained fatigue. They were signs that your energy field was undergoing delicate, invisible adjustments, yet profoundly real to the sensitivity of your soul. Instead of external action, the movement was internal, expansive, silent, without witnesses or applause. The absence of answers wasn't abandonment but protection. Your being was temporarily shielded from the ordinary flow, from old circuits, to be realigned away from distractions. When everything seemed still, you were being secretly repositioned, prepared to sustain a frequency that no longer fit the old mold. That's why the questions kept echoing without answers, and the familiar solutions no longer made sense. You were crossing an energetic threshold between what was and what is now emerging. You weren't left behind. You were carefully placed on the sidelines of the noise to be renewed in silence. If you felt like you didn't belong, it's because your soul was being redesigned for a mission that no longer fits the old forms. Don't mistake reprogramming for brokenness. What seemed like failure was, in fact, an update. The crossing of the invisible happens like ascend this way. From the outside, it looks like inertia. From within, it's creation. And now, Little by little, you're beginning to realize nothing is broken. Everything is being rebuilt in the frequency of your rebirth. In the silence of your journey, there were moments when the pain seemed an unbearable weight. Everything around you appeared to crumble, and every attempt at rebuilding felt futile against the growing emptiness within. Perhaps you felt guilt, believing you were being punished or tested without mercy, when in reality, you were being refined in the invisible fire of reconfiguration. No one sees how much it hurts to lose old pieces of yourself, to break ties with versions of who you were. But in this secret process, your essence was freeing itself from layers that could no longer accompany you in the new frequency. The pain, however intense, didn't come to destroy you. It came to crack open the armor of your old identity, allowing the light of a new consciousness to shine through. The discomfort was a sign that something grand was moving behind the scenes of your field. It was your soul breaking through its shell, expanding beyond the limits imposed by fear and repetition. Every tear, every sleepless night, every sense of failure, all were part of the alchemical process of transmutation. It wasn't punishment, it was healing in progress. The old energy needed to implode because sacred space only reveals itself after everything false gives way to the authentic. The places where you bled the most are the same places where an unprecedented potential now blossoms. The absence of external applause and recognition, the loneliness and oblivion, served to push you toward your true center. You needed to not be seen to finally see yourself. Behind every pain was your soul's impulse crying out for renewal. Pain wasn't your enemy. It was your teacher, the herald of a cycle where you no longer adapt to the old but align with your true purpose. By realizing this, everything shifts. You weren't punished. You were prepared. And at the point of greatest rupture, the greatest reconstruction begins. There comes a moment when the absence of meaning is no longer a problem to solve, but a sacred territory to traverse. The emptiness, however uncomfortable, was the cosmic womb where everything in you was gestated, reshaped, and silenced before rebirth. It's strange to realize that, precisely when everything seemed suspended, when time lost meaning and the world spun at a different frequency, you were exactly where you needed to be. The universe doesn't waste silence. It plants codes, dreams, and seeds of a new identity in that fertile soil called inner solitude. Many mistake emptiness for abandonment, but for those who awaken, it reveals itself as a secret portal. It was there, in the place where answers didn't come, that your energy was disentangled from old bindings. What you judged as paralysis was, in truth, preparation for a crossing without witnesses, a metamorphosis invisible to the world's eyes. While everyone looked outward, you dove deep, crossing your own shadows and emerging on the other side, not as you were before, but as you never dared to be. Now you begin to notice that the frequency around you no longer resonates with what once limited you. Situations, relationships, even old thoughts no longer fit. You're not returning to your starting point. You're emerging beyond what you knew. This sensation of having crossed a portal is subtle but powerful. You no longer belong to the previous cycle. Your field has been redesigned, your vibration tuned to embrace the new that approaches. Even without fully understanding, know this: the emptiness was just the crossing. The true birth happens now, the moment you recognize you're not lost. You're being revealed to yourself in an unprecedented frequency. Within you, there has always been a silent compass, a faint voice whispering warnings, insights, and paths even before the world gave you reason to doubt. Your intuition has always been your greatest tool for navigating the invisible. But at some point in your journey, the weight of the collective, the search for acceptance, and the fear of standing out taught you to distrust those signals. You began to ignore that sudden shiver, the tightness in your chest, the anxiety that arose without reason, the dreams that felt like warnings, the impulses to distance yourself from certain people or places. All of these were your soul speaking loudly. But trained to avoid discomfort, you learned to silence your own truth. The disconnection wasn't your fault. It was defense, adaptation. The world demands superficial alignment, enforces masks, rewards conformity. But now, Something stronger than reason is reconnecting within you. It's not paranoia or fantasy. It's the most precise system you possess being reactivated. Your sensitivity isn't a mistake. It's a gift. The intense sensations, vivid dreams, premonitions, all are vibrational codes from your own field. Denying this truth is like navigating the open sea without a compass, while the entire universe offers you maps through your feelings. The path opening before you won't be logical or linear. Don't expect explanations that fit old formulas. The new cycle is vibrational. It demands courage to listen to what your soul whispers, to honor the perceptions that arrive even when they lack apparent logic. Reconnecting with your intuition isn't optional. It's inevitable. Now more than ever, the world needs your activated sensitivity. It's what will guide your next steps and protect your field from energies that no longer serve you. The learned silence must give way to recognition. Your intuition has never been wrong, and the universe always rewards those who dare to listen to it. Have you ever wondered why certain physical discomforts, vivid dreams, unexplained fatigue, or sudden waves of anxiety appear out of nowhere? In the search for rational answers, few realize that the body is the faithful translator of the energetic shifts crossing your soul. The symptoms that frighten or confuse you are often not illnesses. They're vibrational codes in the process of integration. When your frequency changes, your body needs to find a new balance, and this manifests in the details: the sudden urge to isolate, the feeling of not fitting in, emotions overflowing without context, sensitivity to light, sound, or touch. These signs, however unsettling, are living evidence of your awakening. Your energy field, as it's reconfigured, sends waves that affect every cell, every organ, every fiber of who you are. Often, old diagnoses fail to explain what you feel, because there's no scientific name for the spiritual alchemy silently operating within. And even when everything seems chaotic, an adjustment is happening on deep levels. Your body is learning to sustain the new frequency, filtering out what no longer serves and making space for what's authentic. Honor your symptoms. Embrace every sensation as part of your own rite of passage. The discomfort isn't failure. It's evidence that your soul is leading the process. The urge to retreat, to sleep more, to cry without reason, to feel emotions on the surface. All of this is integration. Don't fight what emerges. Listen. Respect your body's timing, its need for pause, its silent alerts. You're not sick. You're awakening to a new version of yourself. And in this crossing, your body is your first ally, translating into matter what your consciousness has already recognized in spirit. There's a strange longing that visits you, a sense of absence that finds no roots in the past, no explanation in old memories. What you miss isn't something you've lived, but a reality your soul already senses, even if it hasn't yet manifested in linear time. This feeling of being ahead of your own time, of not fitting into current scenarios, is a sign that your frequency has already aligned with a future in the making. The universe, in its silent architecture, is moving pieces toward you, arranging encounters, opportunities, and experiences that haven't yet appeared but already exist on another plane. That's why certain routines become unbearable. Old places lose their shine. Conversations feel empty. Your soul recognizes even before your body that something new is coming, and it demands you be available, receptive, ready to embrace the unexpected. This misalignment isn't failure but anticipation. You're already connected to a future timeline that calls for a higher version of yourself. And while the world insists on tying you to the past, your energy is silently working to clear space for what's coming. Don't try to fill the void with old dreams or repeat strategies that no longer work. The secret now is to trust the invisible movement. Stay sensitive to the signs. Honor the impulses that come from your heart, not logic. What's on its way will require courage to let go of what no longer fits, faith to sustain the weight, and humility to recognize that the universe conspires in favor of those who dare to vibrate authentically. The future isn't a distant point. It's a frequency already pulsing within you. Stay alert. You're closer to the new than you imagine. And everything you need is already moving to meet you. How many times have you felt the pressure to be enough? to shine brighter, to earn invisible merits, to feel worthy of what you desire. The spiritual journey often turns into a race for approval that never comes, as if a cosmic tribunal awaits definitive proof of your value. But the universe, unlike the voices that taught you about worthiness, recognized your essence before your first plea. The vibrational right to receive, be loved, flourish, and expand doesn't depend on achievements or sacrifices. It's innate, already imprinted in your field. This desire to prove yourself, to reach a perfect state to then receive the blessing, is just another trap of the spiritual ego. The universe doesn't respond to perfection, but to truth, and your truth, even full of doubts, fears, and imperfections, carries a magnetic frequency that attracts everything in resonance with your most authentic self. There are no tests, no demands for purity, only the call to be who you are, now, with all you feel, all you question, all that's still forming within you. The search for external validation loses meaning when you realize that existence itself is the attestation of your worth. Every breath, every sincere emotion, every choice to remain sensitive to what pulses in the invisible are silent testimonies of your connection to the whole. The universe doesn't demand you fit idealized models. It wants your true vibration. Enlightenment isn't a prize, it's recognition. Allow yourself to rest in the simple fact of being. You are already enough, already approved, already recognized and validated by the very act of existing. Everything you seek is already moving to meet you, as you honor what you truly are. There are days when everything around you feels out of place. Relationships that once embraced you begin to dissolve without explanation. Familiar environments become uncomfortable. What once made sense now weighs heavy, irritates, or simply doesn't fit anymore. This sense of misalignment, of being displaced in your own world, is the silent announcement that a new timeline is forming beneath your feet. The collapse of the old isn't punishment, it's a sign of an update. Your frequency no longer belongs to the previous cycle, and everything around you is shifting to reposition you. You may feel the urge to force fits, to restore what was lost, to recover old bonds out of fear of the void. But the truth is, the discomfort of the present is the necessary push toward the unknown. The universe is energetically disconnecting you from what no longer resonates, making space for new possibilities, people, and experiences that vibrate in tune with your soul. Resisting the misfit stalls expansion. It's time to trust that the misalignment is the greatest alignment your soul could experience. The time for repetition is over. Doors close to protect you from what has already served its purpose. Embrace the strange, welcome the discomfort, and let change guide you. The discomfort is merely the password to the new route. While everything seems chaotic, an invisible order is repositioning you, preparing the ground for what's truly yours. Don't fight the process. Honor the misalignment. It's the password to the leap. The old cycle is collapsing so that your true path can finally reveal itself. You're shifting timelines, and this disarray is confirmation that you're ready for the new. Now take a deep breath and realize the fact that you've come this far, feeling each word resonate in your deepest layers, is evidence that awakening isn't a distant promise. You are the very sign you awaited, the living confirmation that everything you sought outside already pulses within you. The miracle isn't in an external event or approval to come. It's in your willingness to stay sensitive, to not give up even when everything seemed obscure, to sustain the silent faith of those who walk in the invisible. With every choice to remain present, to honor your intuition, to respect your limits and feelings, you become the bridge between the old cycle and the new frequency. It's no longer time to wait for a sign. You've become the sign. Every transformation you sought was activated when you chose not to dim yourself, even in the face of fear, doubt, or loneliness. Now, everything the universe holds for you is only waiting for your vibrational consent to manifest in the visible. The rest will inevitably come, because your vibration has already authorized the miracle. Allow yourself to recognize, you didn't get here alone. You carry with you an entire lineage of ancestors, a multitude of dreams awaiting your courage to flourish. The process wasn't simple or linear. but it was sacred. And by accepting your sensitivity as a gift, by allowing yourself to be whole, you open doors to everything promised to souls that dare not conform. Breathe, feel. The awakening has already begun, and you are its greatest confirmation. The entire universe conspires to honor those who don't flee from themselves. Your time has come. If this message resonated in some deep part of your being, don't keep this awakening to yourself. Let your energy be recorded here. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share in the comments what you're experiencing in this process. Every story, every word, every presence creates a current of collective transformation. Your experience may be the sign another soul is waiting for to feel embraced. Together, we raise the frequency of this space and open doors for new consciousnesses. Don't let this call get lost in silence. Become an active part of this circle of awakening, because your light here makes all the difference. Gratitude for walking with us. You are already the living evidence of the new frequency being born.